Welcome to a special. Overtime, every time, already got more than 44 pounds in this backpack. Thank you for the donations. For the food security starts with our farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, we salute. And we're gonna go jog before the storm, right in Montreal, Hog Island in NDG. Right before you cross the street, turn your heads left, turn right. And we're gonna go rock and roll in that bilingual French and English. 24 hours, we're gonna go all the way north towards the sun, but I don't know if we're gonna make it on time for that event because it's getting on that dark. And yours truly gotta commence with my gratitude special commencement for the Canadian Armed Forces today, NORAD and NATO. Special drill, you know I'm gonna ask people retrograde amnesia and geopolitics is my kingdom, my arena. Geopolitics 24/7 is my kingdom, my arena, and today the news, bad news, worst news. I predicted this back in 2019. The international world order was gonna be fragmented. I predicted it because, you know, geopolitics is my kingdom, my realm, and again, I'm an Asperger's is not a mental illness. It is a neurological developmental condition. It's not a developmental condition, a neurological mental condition. It's a neurodiverse mental condition. So people with Asperger's like me have obsessions. You think it's gonna come some lightning, some thunder? Stay safe, be well. I always like my fellow neighbor there. He's always smiling at me when I pass by, and you know, I always smile back, and sometimes went through a conversation, but sometimes it's been a few months and I forgot if it was French or English. Anyways, we're bilingual here, so we're putting that in overtime every time for that French language as well. And now as we march north, gonna head towards the star. Got a little bit of sun, but anyways, back to the geopolitics. The geopolitics, of course, of today is the nuclear drill. So it's serious as much as I'm 1/7 of a comedian when I take my geopolitics and geopolitical analysis and theory as an independent geopolitical analyst and theory pretty seriously. Is now marching north, and gonna see a little bit of blue sky. Looks like a bit of a thunder gonna come, and thunder lining. There is a severe storm watch, quite severe on the scale of severe, which is very rare, powerful, but perhaps gushing over the winds. But we're gonna go a little bit of drill, not more than 93 minutes today, and not overtime to the mountain today. We're gonna go tomorrow to Tuesday, but as always, I want to begin and my rock and roll overtime sessions with gratitude. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee. This is May 22nd. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and I already feel good, although the backpack is military grade like, with, of course, the food that I got, and of course I got food and coffee and tea at HOME, my headquarters, the Dragon's Lair, a few kilometers back down south, because now I'm heading north, and that's the east, and that's the west. We're gonna go northwest. Gonna try to do a little bit of a rock and roll overtime. So today the topic of discussion and dedication of this marching vlog, marching rock and roll 24/7, because I'm also an artist, not only a geopolitical analyst and theorist. I'm also an artist, AA artist athlete with retrograde amnesia, and survived COVID 4 years ago, February 2020, and you know, left a place of sickness, illness, and moldy place to a better place, and got out of depression in 2017 when I crossed Canada coast to coast. That event in my life made me come out of depression and being suicidal, and since then, of course, I got it on the XYZ, and on the XYZ, and on the XYZ, and I got out of depression and suicidal, and when I crossed Canada coast to coast, we went out west in Vancouver, BC, and then we went all the way to the other side. We went to Halifax, and oh, the sun's shining, man. Gotta check when I cross this street here, man. When I cross this street, I gotta check for the cars, you know, because sometimes the cars do not necessarily stop, and what if they press the accelerator? What if they press the accelerator instead of the brakes? And you know, we gotta do an extra addition of security and safety, because now I'm in the public. I'm no longer in just my private. So I gotta watch out for my fellow citizens as well, because all I know here in Montreal, you know, Montreal Metropolis Island, 2.5 million people, and I have Asperger's. During the past years, I've been learning to manage it, because there's no medication, there's no medication. I just have social awkwardness and ritualized like bodily movements and awkward gestures. And we Aspies, we got Asperger's, which is not a mental illness. It is a neurological divergent condition. Asperger's is not a mental illness. It is a neurological divergent condition. So Asperger's is a neurological divergent mental condition. We just have obsessions. And those things we are obsessed about, we excel. So like I say, geopolitics is basically, for the past years, I wake up, I analyze, do theories in geopolitics. I'm obsessed about fitness. Dancing is my favorite sport, and I play a rainbow, but geopolitics is my realm, you know. So when you enter geopolitics, gotta give a shout out here for the work of the public workers, and dang it, public workers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, Hydro-Quebec workers, you know. We gotta build some more dams here, and all I really know is this Montreal, you know, Metropolis Island, 2.5 million people, 2.5 million people, 2.5 million people, and I encourage you all to work out, train, exercise, and working out, training, exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And right now I feel good in my neighborhood here, and I also got to be prudent, turn my head left or right. Nonetheless, even if there's a stop sign, because you never know, eh? The brakes can malfunctioning of the brakes, and what if the citizen driver presses the accelerator instead of the brake? Those are all possibilities. So I'm outside now. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligation, and we got to counterbalance our rights with the privilege of civilizations and the duty of conduct in the public, right? Could have stayed home naked and danced naked, but I'm outside, so I got certain things, and I got to be aware that I'm a minority with Asperger's. Less than 1 out of 300, you know, not even 1% of people have Asperger's, which is highly functional autism. Again, not a mental illness, but a neurodiverse mental condition, which makes me predisposed to obsessive interests, and I repeat things, phrases, and I can be overly verbose and use overly sophisticated language in terms of terminology and confluence of intellectualized, overly abstract notions and words, which perhaps sometimes is not the best thing to do, but there's that tendency within Asperger's, such as this morning I analyzed the situation in the geopolitical event of today. The major one of this in the news this morning was the Russian nuclear drills. So they have the weapon capability to launch a nuclear weapon. So it's possible. We've never been in such a case before as we are now, you know. So we've never been in such a case as we are now. But anyway, so those are the major political drills of today, and we got to do to those drills, and we got to do to those drills, and we got to give it on the go, on the now, you know. So it's always some things which we got to be aware of, you know, since we got to be aware of, and we got to look here when we cross the street. See, because here there's a stop sign to the left and to the right. See, we got to salute the public workers, and the public workers, you know. So that's what we got to do. When we cross the street, we got to cross the street safely. And please don't put that in the garbage, because my fellow citizens on the bike might press on it and children play. So put it in the garbage or in the recycling if it goes in the garbage and the recycling, you know. So a beautiful day now, and it's a beautiful day, so I'm meditating on that, and I can do an expose and an in-depth strategic, but nonetheless, all the geopolitics that I do as an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and this week is going to be emergency. This is an emergency march because of the drills, nuclear drills, unprecedented. They've been held near Ukraine, so Russia released some footage, and we got ICBMs we built between 1947 and 1991. More than 44 years of the Cold War, East and West. More than 44 years of the Cold War, East and West. More than 44 years of the Cold War, East and West. We built nuclear satellites, and we built ICBM rockets, and we built so many ICBM rockets that they are able to launch. They're able to launch, and they're able even to reach us. So I am calling and have been calling blah, 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 blah for years, and to build an intercontinental ballistic defense integrated missile, right? A public-private partnership. Everything that I do basically is a public-private partnership. Everything that I do basically is a public and a private partnership. Everything that I do basically is a public and a private partnership call. It is a call to all, basically. A call wall for a public-private partnership across what I call the North American civilizational complex, as a philosopher as well as an artist, athlete, and independent geopolitical analyst and theorist who loves me some little gizmos here and a nice little quite a nice little decorations in the houses. And I like my yellow flowers anyways. I'm not gonna diverge, but nonetheless, geopolitics, that's my kingdom, my domain. And I gotta say that I have predicted back in 2019, I have predicted what's happening now, what's occurring now in terms of the geopolitical events, confluence of events that are unfolding now at the moment. And here in North America, and I consider myself, because I am a North American Canadian Quebecer, besides I believe in reincarnations, read George Patton's Through a Glass Darkly poem, and there he discusses reincarnation. I was born in the USA twice. Post 1776, post 1776. I was born in the United States twice, post 1776, and both times, well, served in the United States Army both times. Well, served in the United States Army both times, served in the United States Army, Post 1776 twice, served in the United States Army post 1776. You heard that correct, So, post 1776, served twice in the United States Army. Anyways, today, May 21st, I proposed the public-private partnership protocols, and I've written, of course, a lot of protocols and a lot of documents that I've written as a philosopher, as a geopolitical analyst and theorist, namely, of course, dealing with the North American collective civilizational perspective, such as what to do in an emergency situation, such as a nuclear war. Because, believe it or not, the nuclear war is closer, perhaps, than it ever been with the Ukraine situation now, and with the drills now, it's going to be an emergency today, an emergency tomorrow, and we have to open up some mountains. Public-private partnership, we got to open up some mountains and stack some mountains with some food and some bunkers for the population. And we have to work, and I have been working on a theoretical paper for a few years now, of course, in the contingency of nuclear war in Europe and outside of North America, and how to deal with, of course, to salvage some of the population in a few weeks, to be able to salvage a few million from all over the places of the world and bring them, of course, to North America in such a situation. But mostly, of course, from a NORAD NATO perspective. So NATO is the military alliance. We have now welcomed the 32nd member state, which is, of course, Sweden. Sweden is being the 32nd nation state, and of course Swiss has joined NATO, and of course whatever other countries join us and whoever joins us, here in North America, we gotta get it on the drill, so, because it's possible for the nuclear weaponry to be launched. I mean, there we have it. Thousands of ICBM rockets were built, and now there's a drill. A drill which is unprecedented. Turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. Turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. Gotta be careful for the children. I always look like a hawk, to see if citizens press the accelerator, the brake properly, and of course to take off the foot from the accelerator and start pressing the brake is what I meant, and slow down. So I kind of do a calculation, kind of see the car traversing from a few meters, and I kind of know, okay, good, it's time to press the stop. And I see the children there running safely, and I write children's books, and I always say a message, blah 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 blah, to my citizen Bill Blair and Minister of National Defense. It starts here coast to coast, starting from the daycares. I would implement a protocol to go change some children's diapers, because what are we putting on the uniform to defend and to save? Well, it is this 40 million plus Canadians and North Americans, and it starts with the children, the youth, and those contingencies and plan which I have written in case of nuclear war, and in terms of World War III, which some say we are now, World War III. It is mostly for North American collective civilizational complex, for the complex of civilizational complex of North America. And I always say a new protocol will be to change some diapers, and change some diapers in the daycares, or at least read some books and help me publish my books. I've written few themes of my children's books are firefighters, construction, butchers, everything about the public and the private balance and nature and civilization and the harmony. They need to attain harmony between nature and civilization and everything, of course, which we have here. Going towards the sun now. Gonna get a little bit of sun and hopefully I'm gonna make it on. That garbage is full, so I'm gonna discern and not put anything in this garbage because it's already full. So I want to give the public workers extra work. Thank you, public workers who pick up the garbage, the compost, the recycling every day, every week. I got 3 services: recycling, compost, garbage, recycling, compost, garbage, recycling, compost, garbage, and the recycling and compost and the garbage. So I'm just gonna go in the sun and get a little bit of that one, you know. So it's always important to exercise. I have been and will call for the mass financing of citizens to be financed to work out, train, and exercise, and to work out, to train, and to exercise, to work out, to train, and to exercise, to work out, to train, and to exercise, which have been calling for the mass financing thereof. And you know, it's NHL, National Hockey League, NFL, National Football League, MLB, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please, 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 let's finance fitness, you know. And I created my own workout training program system, which I have paradoxically created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario. You heard that correct. I got proof of work, hundreds of workout videos, not the best quality, but sometimes you got to work with the tools you're given, you know. And since I got this laptop, I've been working with it for the past years, and you know, it's less about the superficial things, of which myself am also. I don't play as self-righteous. I do not play as self-righteous. Thank you, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, carpenters, electrician, grocery store clerks, 24/7. Rock&Roll for the bakers, train conductors, nurses, doctors, firefighters. Salute for the lovers, for the youth, for those cleaning workers, changing diapers now in daycare, and teachers reading children's books, and all that work being done now with the truckers transporting those, of course, in the public workers doing some public work, changing the aqueduct across North America, the lovers holding hands in the sun, finding a little bit of passion, and fellow citizens who do a little bit of work, and that's what I love for that LOV, man, because otherwise what are we saving to fight for if not for someone not making LOV, you know? That's what I like, and people holding hands and loving, and you have to give a little bit of that joy, you know, a little bit of that joy right there. And public workers and those fisheries and nurses, the truckers, the doctors. It ain't all about Wall Street. Wall Street closed. Please give to charity. If you make $1 million, give 100,000. Give 100,000. That's 10% of $1 million. You can give 100,000 divided by four different causes: food security, LGBTQ issues, and environmental causes, and other causes. That's a please. Call it a heart from the dragon as I march now, meditating on the drills. It's a new event and a big, powerful event in North America. A big, powerful event. You know, which can trigger World War III. If not, the nukes can be launched. You know, so we're hoping not, but we also didn't know, many people didn't know, that we're going to have the current geopolitical situation. And another point of contention, which I'm not going to diverge into because I might diverge and go non-stop, because Aspies, people with Asperger's, we got obsessions and geopolitics, the study, the analysis, the theorizing of everything surrounding geopolitics. And geopolitics is my kingdom as I go now to hydrate, and geopolitics is my kingdom. When you enter geopolitics, want to discuss geopolitics, you enter my kingdom. So in my domain, just hopefully there's some water. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to drink from that. I'm gonna go to the other one. It's too small, that one. I'm gonna go to the other one to hydrate because that one's way too small. So way too small. So I can't go there. I'm gonna go to the other one, which is right there. So, because that one's too small for me to of course, to get it on the go, you know. So we gotta go get that hydration, you know. So we gotta go get that hydrate, you know. So super hot today, and I think record-breaking temperatures, and record-breaking heat, and gotta get it on the go, get it on the go, get it on the go like that, you know. So we gotta get it on the go like that. And we gotta go on the wire, and we gotta get those little kisses and get those little hydration. My fellow, getting on the drill, man, you know. There we go. Finally made it to some water. Gotta thank the public workers who build all the aqueducts. Imagine all the aqueducts. Considerate, we hydrate. Hydrate, man. Whew. That's some hydration, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that feels so good. That feels so good. That feels so good. That feels so good. Super important to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. We gotta get in on the X, on the Y, on the Z. You know, so it's always super important to be grateful. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and I saw my youth happy, joyous. My cousins there, my family, Quebecers, Canadians, North American families unite. Let's get married, and do some drills, build some satellites, and build some protocols to be able to intercept those missiles in case they try to fly them over. We need to build interceptors in case they try to fly them over, in case they try to fly them. In case they try to fly them over. Try not to waste food, please. Please try not to waste food, eat it all. You know, and I lost some pounds, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise once again. And, you know, I gotta cross my head, turn my head left and right. And I'm happy I just saw youth, you know, 16, 17-year-olds, probably high school, secondary 4 or 5, and playing some soccer. And I would definitely finance women's sports, you know. I'm that 50-50, you know, androgynous, and many past lives, many incarnations, was born a man, was born a woman, and now you get that 50-50, whatever the case may be. Drop down, give me some push-ups, and thank you farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, teachers, public workers, picking up the garbage, and we gotta get it for that public sanitation, we gotta get it for that Hydro-Quebec. Sometimes you gotta start your fitness journey now, but anyways, I'm always happy when I see people working out, training, and holding hands, and it's time to mass finance it. It's time to mass finance citizens' fitness and wellness, and it starts. Everything I'm about is a public-private partnership. Fundamentally, all my work is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership in fundamentum. If I can summarize when I say, of course, support a dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, my dream for the Union, the Democratic Republic of North America, the public-private partnership is fundamentally, well, it's a public-private partnership. That's a nice one, man. Anyways, that's a whiff of CO2. Oof, that's really hard. So that's the thing here. You can get a lot of whiff from the cars, but I'm not that allergic to car exhaust, but I get to feel it a lot for some reason. Maybe because I've been going through the mountain for years and years and years, and a few times a week where up the mountain there's the fresh air. So always when I march in the urban jungle, although I love civilization as much as I love nature, 50-50 once again, but you know, that's what it is on the drill here. As I go towards the sun, we're gonna go to the top there, to the bridge, and then we're gonna head back, turn, and gonna go have a movie night, man, with the greatest woman I know, who get that power of attorney, power of attorney, power of attorney, power of attorney. And, you know, always turn my head left or right here when I cross the street, because you never know, the brakes might malfunction. Citizen driver gets a little bit accelerated and accelerating instead, you know. And what if the brakes malfunction? What if the citizen driver presses the accelerator instead of the brake? Those are things as a citizen I gotta be mindful of, meditate, be aware of, you know? Be aware of as a citizen. First and foremost, I'm a citizen, Canadian, Quebecer, citizen of Quebec, Canada, Confederation. We don't need to do that federation because, you know, king, well, we got an absentee monarch, so we got to get that region protocol. And I play a rainbow, you know, I don't play self-righteous, and I do admit that some things I am mediocre, and some things I am average, and some things I am so-so, but not a geopolitics. Then you enter my kingdom. You best be prepared. You want to discuss whatever discussions. Let's say China, for instance. Well, you got to be a little bit of reading of the governance of China. Xi Jinping's governance of China. So to understand China today, not speaking about China during the Cultural Revolution, not China during the 70s, 80s. Now China, Xi Jinping's China, and what China has become a superpower and build mega infrastructure on whatever they're trying to build. They're going to continue building their what they call socialism with Chinese characteristics. And in geopolitics, you know, that's what they did. The second strengthening of alliance, Russia. Sino-Russian, and a little bit of Russia to understand it today would be controversial for some, less for others. Alexander Dugin. To understand me, I have to listen to my lectures, my thesis, which I've given fundamentally in a communicative oral manner, which is the privilege of civilization, which civilization is, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and the trucks, and all those that we have, you know, it's fundamentally it is, of course, a public-private partnership, you know, which we have. So civilization is a privilege with the farms, with the, you know, here in North America, we got a lot of discords, and we made it so far together, but we're a collective civilization, and we got our civilizational distinctions, and we made the great linguistic compromise, or what I call the great linguistic compromise of the North American civilizational complex, and just so thirsty, you know. Super thirsty today. It's very hot, so I'm just gonna go hydrate. We gotta go and hydrate, you know. We gotta get on the hydration, man. Oh yeah, I hope it works. Oh yeah, I'm so blessed. Thank you to those who build it. Thank you to those who build it. They build it. We're gonna keep on building more. We need infrastructure renewal. Our infrastructure, a lot of it in North America. We need great North American Infrastructure Act, man. Let's go for that work. Hydrate. Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh, that was so good. So good when you're thirsty. Tastes like soda, man. Hey, when you're thirsty, even the water feels good. Anyways, grateful, thankful, of course, that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and here we made. Here we made a great linguistic compromise, you know, of the French languages in North America, and of course, we continue to do it. And what I degrade, of course, my brothers and sisters were black, you know. It's 13.3%, 13.4% of the population of North America are black and, you know, Latino. And I believe in one human race. I can be universal for world peace, but fundamentally I am a North American, Canadian Quebecer, and consider family all who come to join us. And we know we got racism, we got discrimination, we got all sorts of things. We're working on it. And to my black brothers and sisters, well, I offer what I offer everybody else, what I got first. Kisses credited from the goddess. Kisses credited from the goddess. Hugs. Main message is hug like you never hugged before. Today, now, when you hear this message, I got only one view. Hello. Got only one view, but there's more the content is there. I'm still a YouTuber, regardless of 0 views, 1 views. The one that got 66 views. It's me taking a bath. And no, Asperger's is not a mental illness. Asperger's is a neurodivergent mental condition. Asperger's is a neurodivergent mental condition. Asperger's is a neurodivergent mental condition, you know. So the mental condition makes me predisposed to obsessive interest, but that's my kingdom, my realm. And the curse of Asperger's makes me that I'm able to and have been able to formulate, written in my essays and protocols, theories and propositions from some solutions, you know. for some solutions. I just got out of the way because the mother or the whatever the relationship might be, she was holding the little children with one hand in the left and in the other, 2 children. So I just went on the side because, you know, it's children first for me, the youth first, salute the youth, you know, all who join us here in North America, you know. And I love writing children's books, and I have a lot of experience reading to children, to the youth, and I call us the protocol Dragon Army, Public-Private Partnership Initiative Protocol, blah, blah, blah. You know, before you put on a uniform, well, you gotta go change some diapers, man. Because it starts in the national defense, starts in the daycares, and it ends with the senior citizens. That's how I see it, integrated level, the CIT, blah, blah, blah. Citizen integration theory, one of my theories which have developed over more than 7 years, and which, of course, I've put into concrete action plan now for the coming Septennium, for the coming Septennium now, which it seems that we are embarked on a World War III, if not has started, but it's possible that the People's Republic of China, as I'm going this march now, it's possible that the People's Republic of China might invade Taiwan, the Republic of China. So it's possible. It's possibilities in the geopolitics. We don't know so many things we don't know, so many things we don't know. We speculate, and I assume much. I speculate, and we can speculate, but of course, in terms of geopolitics, we also gotta get real, and it's emergency types of situations, and have been with COVID, and I had COVID. For me, COVID was like death, pestilence, and disease, death, pestilence, and disease, death, pestilence, and disease, you know. Sounds like a rock song, and I do write my rock and roll and get rock and roll 24/7 for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the truckers, for those grocery store clerks. I rock and roll at 24, it's for that, you know that. I gotta say it, for the farmers that are cooking, for the truckers gotta look in, nurses, doctors, hey, those butchers and the bakers, those electricians and the plumbers. I sing for them also. Canadian Armed Forces, NORAD, NATO, go. Rock and roll 24/7, geopolitics 24/7, and those are my obsession. Sports, dancing is my favorite sport. Yes, dancing is my favorite sport. But I also like boxing and challenging Tyson Fury, Usyk, Tyson Fury, and of course, I do love dancing and sports, fitness is my obsessive interest. Aspies, we have that. We're obsessed about a narrow set of interests. And me is geopolitics 24/7 for many years. And I am a philosopher. And I presented my thesis as the people's doctor. And civilization is a privilege. And what I call the North American civilizational complex. And my theories, propositions are first and foremost for here in Montreal, Hawk Island, Canada, and North America. For North America, or what I call the North American civilizational complex, and we form a new complex civilization, or civilizational complex, or civilizational community in North America, whatever you want to call it. It's fundamentally, we are distinct, not divorced from Western civilization. So we are distinct, not divorced from Western civilization. We are distinct, not divorced from Western civilization. That is the main general idea, which we got to retain, and you got to regurgitate and add on it or dissect it while doing some push-ups. And I get dirty, but I get back clean, blah, blah, blah. Saluting the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, carpenters. Those, we need some new tables. New tables got some spins, got some fins, and we made it so far, black and whites here, and North Americans. If we have to become a new, we're gonna be FRE, but freedom got to be insured, baby. Freedom got to be insured. We gotta got food, gotta get housing, and then the extras. A little bit of entertainment, a little bit of wine or beer or cheese with it. The extras, the basics, the essentials. Food, housing, shelter, some LOV for me is essential, Otherwise, what are we fighting to save civilization for? LOV is not all about Wall Street, not all about money, If we get nuclear war, we get none of that, man. If we get nuclear war, we get none of that, man. If we get nuclear war, possibly. So many nuclear warheads and ICBM rockets were built just between 1947 and 1991, during the more than 44 years of the Cold War, more than 44 years of the Cold War, more than 44 years of the Cold War. Gotta discuss the DRT theory now, but just gonna turn my head left and right here. I cross the street on Valentine, and since there's children coming, just children, and with the mother or whatever their relationship is, I'm just gonna turn my head there and cross the street and go around about, and I'm gonna discuss the beautiful tulips. Oh, I gotta take a picture of those black tulips. I haven't seen black tulips yet, and some of my first black tulips are 2024. And I love flowers, and I love yellow flowers. I love all flowers, but these ones are dark purple, almost black. Almost black, dark purple, and I love tulips. I love flowers. I love colorful, bright colors, but I also love general colors like that. So it's always something which I enjoy and I love. So, anyways, I'm gonna discuss the DRT theory now as I cross those yellow flowers are Rock&Roll. There's little flowers here also. So I'm now going to discuss the DRT as I cross the bridge, because it's something which we got to implement. And this DRT theory comes out of the curse of Asperger's, and now I'm going to say why I know it. That is the only solution, that is the only solution, that is the only solution for where we are now, at least in the 21st century, on this May 21st. My brothers and sisters, Asperger's, the curse of Asperger's, for me has some blessing, for me, for you, for us, for me, for you, for us, for myself and an individual, and us, us, we, as a collective civilizational complex, as North Americans, because fundamentally my theories, protocols, keep in mind, are for North America. North Americans unite is the call, and for world peace. But I am a North American fundamentally. Personally, I do not consider myself a member of diaspora, and this is my home in past life. In this life, was born right here on the island, born in the USA. Born in Canada a few times in Montreal, man and woman, Quebec or English, French, XYZ, and 21st of May. That 93 Telemites in a non-sectarian manner way. So the DRT theory stands for debt refusion theory, and it also includes what's called monetary integration. So monetary integration is exactly what was done in the European Union. The European Union, many countries in Europe adopted a single currency. So my DRT, and that's called monetary integration theory, which in Europe they applied. So look at that beauty, look at that beauty, look at that beauty. So my theory, of course, DRT, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the Universal Exchange Unit. My DRT includes what's called monetary integration theory. That's what I'm asking all institutions, organizations. Blackhawk, Blackstone, and BlackRock are two different financial institutions. They're private, but it takes the private financial institutions plus the central banks, which is a public-private partnership in many ways. So it takes the public and the private. So the DRT, my brothers and sisters, is the only solution. I'm going to show you now how come. See, this is the amount of interest we pay on the public debt of Canada, the federal public debt. We paid in 2020, 2021, 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion. See? And now in 2023, 2024, we're paying 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion, 46.5 billion. So in 2020, 2021, we paid, this was with the beginning of COVID, 20.3 billion. A billion is 1,000 million, has 9 zeros, right? Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure, I had to make eye contact because you never know with the power of the sun, it could be blindness a little bit. So anyways, so in 2020, 2021, we paid 20.3 billion. Now, in 2023, 2024, we pay 46.5 billion. 46, so it's more than double. This is just the debt servicing. In other words, debt servicing is a fancy term to say how much interest we pay, right? That's debt servicing is just a more technical term to say how much money we pay in interest on the public private federal debt, on the public federal debt. Look at that. On the public federal debt, it more than doubled, though. Of course, it more than doubled due to COVID, emergency financial programs and protocols to serve population and health emergency like I never experienced before. You know, with COVID, we had the health emergency, and of course, to keep healthy, it's always good to work out, train, exercise, and public hygiene, and have been calling for years now for citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise for many years. And it's always good to get some of that sun. And I am triple vaccinated 3 times. That's it for me. And 3 vaccines, that does it for me. 3 vaccines, that does it, you know. 3 vaccines, that does it. 3 vaccines, well, that does it. And look at that beautiful, looks like a pyramid. We're going to build new pyramids here. We're going to build new pyramids, you know. It's super important, you know, to build new pyramids, and those pyramids remain. I was there in a past life, and though I'm not going to diverge into that. Anyways, the DRT theory, debt refusion theory, is what is the solution, comes out of my curse of Asperger's. And you know, at the moment, I'm just financially stressed. I'm $10,500 in debt. So here's the DRT, which includes monetary integration theory. So I will explain it. So DRT theory explains. So we're going to take all the private and the public debt, my $10,500 in debt, and right now I'm just financially stressed. My fitness is good and getting better every day. You know, my mental health, sometimes I get moody. I wish I could afford a massage therapy session, but the firefighters who fought in Alberta, well, they deserve it and they earn more than me. So millionaires finance them, farmers with it, and nurses, firefighters and farmers finance them massage therapy session in the massages. You can cut some checks, blah blah, and that's what money is, to enable us to do things, you know. Money has a purpose, basically, just like my theories have a purpose, for me, for you, for us, for securing the 21st century, public-private partnership, defense coast to coast. And I live a simple, austere, severe lifestyle, you know. I don't need much to be joyous, and my joy comes from working out, training, and dancing, and going to the mountain and being on the island, seeing people holding hands and kissing and hugging. That brings me joy. In parallel to working out, training, and marching, and going to the mountain and rock and roll 24/7 for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. You already know the song. It always a new note, a new sky, a new day, a new life, a new way. The DRT debt refusion theory. We're gonna take all the private and the public debt. So my 10,500, yours coast to coast, all the debt, the public and the private debt. We're gonna add it all together. So we're gonna add it all together. Canadian public and private debt is gonna be in the trillions. And due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for international business, global trade, and world commerce, global trade, international finance, and world trade, international finance, and global business, right? And tourism still is the currency of choice. And we're gonna turn that together, right? So we're gonna do that together. We're gonna convert it, all the debt, all the private, and above wearing red. The children of the empire salute. The children of the empire salute. Of the kingdom, Democratic Republic, North Americans unite. So we're gonna take all the public and the private debt. My 10,500. We're gonna take it together, and we're gonna add it up. And due to the fact that the United States still is the currency of choice, we're gonna do the conversion. So we're gonna convert to US dollars. And the Mexican peso, the public-private debt of Mexico, we're gonna convert it to US dollars. We're gonna convert it to the US dollar, right? So we're gonna add it all up together, and we're gonna do the conversion, right? So this is gonna be a number. But Haiti also, but North American countries, right? NORAD, NATO, I'm speaking about. The others I don't know, right? So we're gonna all add it up together. All this number is gonna be in the trillions, in the trillions, eh? In the trillions, you know. So it's gonna be in the trillions. We're gonna convert all that money. We're gonna put it into a private bank or private-public partnership to create a new bank, like they did in Europe. They created the ECB. We're gonna create the North American Integrated Bank. 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 So we're gonna issue a new currency based on the US dollar. It's gonna be the universal U.universal.e exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. The universal U.E exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. The universal exchange unit. We're gonna create the UE, the universal exchange unit. The U.E.U. The universal exchange unit. The universal exchange unit based on biometrics. So I'm asking my brother Bill Gates, Scorpio brother of Blackstone, Larry Fink, and Joe Biden is a Scorpion, President of Mexico, Scorpio, all the signs, Sagittarius, Leo, all the 12 signs plus the 13th, if you will. Now, this doesn't matter the sign, but I'm just stating like that fact. I'm a mystic, spiritual, believe in the GODDSS, goddess, and I love it in astrology and independent will and action, and I'm also very secular rock and roll as well, in parallel to being a spiritual teaching student, because I don't know it all. But nonetheless, I do know the DRT, I know geopolitics, and I know my rock and roll and my dancing, so I stick best to that. So in parallel to everything we got in civilization, take all the private and the public debt, Canada, US, Mexico, all that number, convert it to US dollar, add it all up. This number will finance the initial bank for a new bank, just like they did the Europeans. They created the ECB, European Central Bank, the ECB, and we're going to create the European Central Bank. We're going to create the European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank, the European Central Bank, the European Central Bank, the ECB, the European Central Bank, and we're going to create the North American Integree. Could be BIS, with Bank of International Settlements, with the Bank of International Settlements. Oh, there's a train there, yeah, saluting the train conductor. So we're going to do all the debt, public and the private debt. We're going to convert it, of course, to the UE. To the UE, we're going to meet that. We're going to do the conversion, of course, from the Universal Exchange Unit. The Universal Exchange Unit, we're going to convert it to US dollar. We're going to create a new central bank. We're going to create a new currency based on the US dollar called the UE. The Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit being the UE, the UE. So this universal exchange will be based on the US dollar and will of course be based on the US, on the US, on the US dollar, on the US dollar. So we're gonna be basing it on the United States dollar, the UE. It'd be 1 UE, 2 UEs, 3 UEs, 5 UEs, whatever the case may be, UE. So we're gonna do that conversion right there. So we're gonna convert it. We're gonna do the conversion. We're gonna do the conversion universal exchange unit. So we're gonna create the universal exchange unit based, of course, on biometrics, and the universal exchange unit will be based on the U.S. dollar. And with that, there's going to be a creation of a 10% interest rate, maximum 10%. So there's going to be maximum 10%, maximum 10% interest rate, 10% interest rate, maximum 10% interest rate. And of course, we're going to set a standard of prices. Look at those beautiful yellows. We're going to set a standard on the prices. We're going to freeze the price of bread, price of butter, price of milk, all the goods. We're going to freeze housing. And with all that money, we're going to be able to rebuild. We're going to be able to finance the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, 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 the dancing goddess, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, right? So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna, of course, do the implementation of the DRT, the debt refusion theory is gonna be implemented, and we're gonna, of course, implement the DRT, the debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit based, of course, on biometrics. The hand of voice being unique biometric identifier. Scorpio brother Bill Gates, Elon Musk never had problems with Microsoft, PayPal, and public-private partnership. Is going to issue the UE, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. Set an interest rate level of 10%. All that money, with all that money, we're going to mass build defense systems, just defense, security, and service, Dragon Army, parallel to the Dancing Goddess Army, the dream, my dream, the public-private partnership dream, to have two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dragon Army, and the Dancing Goddess Army, and of course to have two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdoms. Here, North Americans unite for security service purpose, security service, environmental causes, and all that jazz. And of course all that jazz, and to of course do the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange unit, like I said, preferably by biometrics. And of course we can have, like we have now, banknotes, but biometrics. We're going to set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be less, now more, 3.33, 1.56, 7.18. A new currency based on the US dollar. We're going to freeze the prices. Look at that beautiful white and black butterfly. White and black butterfly, white and black butterfly. Where there's a light, there's a shadow. 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 Beautiful butterfly. If I can take it in the picture. Where there's a light, there's a shadow. Thinking Hydro-Quebec, whenever I see polls like this, Hydro-Quebec always meditating. Hydro-Quebec butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production and the distribution of food, all involved in the production and the distribution of food, Bakers, nurses, train conductors, grocery store clerks, Dragonomy for the 21st century, coast to coast, ocean to ocean. That's it. That's all. NORAD for NATO, NORAD Defense Security Service. NORAD NATO, mostly NORAD, North American, of course. Create the UE Universal Exchange Unit, blah, blah, blah. Create the Universal Exchange Unit just like they did in Europe for North America currency. With all that money, all that private and public debt will be the initial money supply of this new bank, which will finance the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, Dragonomy, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, the North American Citizen Integrated Security and Service and Defense Force, integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, and public and private institutions and organizations, 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 of course, public and private institutions and organizations, and of course, public and private institutions and organizations, public and private institutions and organizations, public and private institutions and organizations, public and private institutions and organizations to build the 21st century. More satellites, launch more 3,000 sats, integrated, build super integrated defense, security, and public sanitation centers where citizens can monitor public sanitation, everything in North America, Big centers, supercomputers, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Google, all NORAD integrated, where citizens can go do some push-ups, do some fitness, and see where people are doing some fitness, and monitor all the streets and all the public sanitation, the public, all public domain, citizen integrated theory, in parallel to my DRT theory. The DRT theory take all public and private debt, blah blah, all that public and private debt converted to US dollar, Canada, United States, Mexico, Canada, US first, and of course extended to North America, Mexico, my Mexican brothers and sisters. I learned some Spanish, so I can manage a little bit in some Spanish, and to create the DRT, the debt refusion theory, and of course the debt refusion theory, the democratic fusion theory. So XYZ for XYZ here in Montreal, Hawk Island, Montreal, Hawk Island, so that's what we gotta do, XYZ, so it is what it is, and we gotta implement it, and that's the only solution. There's no other solutions we gotta focus with. The DRT is the only solution. Take all private and public debt and create secure food, housing, transport, and then with that money we're going to be able to rebuild North America's complex systems of infrastructure, renew infrastructure systems, rebuild the highways, build more trains, more public transport, of course, and getting a little bit more and more of that ecological way, getting more eco-friendly, make it on that more eco-friendly buses, and with that money we're gonna be able to do it more, and to do it more, so that's what it is. We gotta get it done, and we gotta get it doing, or we gotta get it doing on the go. So it takes two to tango: civilization and nature, the public and the private, and based on my philosophies, the DRT, the debt refusion to your brothers and sisters. There's no other solutions. There's no other solution but the debt refusion to you. There's no other solution but the DRT, the debt refusion to you, for the creation of the UE. There's no other solution but the DRT for the creation of the UE. There's no other solution now. Where we are now, there's no other solution but the DRT. There's no other solution but the debt refusion to your brothers and sisters, and with that we're going to be able to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance citizen physical activity, all Dragonomy, dancing goddess army. We're going to be able to establish the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, the Dragonomy and the dancing goddess army, the DGA, the Dragonomy and the DGA, Dragonomy and the DGA, the dancing goddess army. So that's what we're going to be able to do, the dancing goddess army. So gonna be able to do that, so that's what we're gonna be able to do, so we're gonna be able to do that, so gonna be able to do the dancing goddess, the Dragonomy, and get a little bit of these beautiful flowers. Oh, they're so gorgeous. I love flowers, man. One thing for flowers, my fellow citizen there smiled. Yeah, I'd rather be seeing people laughing at me and smiling with me, more with me than at me, but I don't mind if I can bring some joy, smile. I do a little bit of comedy, clumsy. I'm sometimes clumsy, except when I dance and work out, so. And I do love flowers and all sorts of things. And, it's not all about strength. It's not all about force. We got to have that love and understanding with everything we got to go in the 21st century. Love and understanding, As individuals, part of a collective. My individual nature, and I do have aggression. I have aggression, but my brothers and sisters, I effing channel it. I channel it. I work out, I train, I exercise, I work out. I train, I exercise, I work out. I train, I exercise so that I harm no other citizen. I play that D and I fight my own battles. I play that D and I fight my own battles. I play that D and I fight my own battles. I played that D and I fight my own battles. I played that D and I fight my own battles, And now we got to play defense together in North America because everything that's happening, not everything, but most of what's happening now, I have predicted it before 2019, but mainly in 2019 in October when I decided to do an thorough depth analysis, geopolitical analysis for a few weeks, and I did a very deep, profound analysis, and back then I concluded that humanity, we are again set on a concourse. We're set towards an international conflagration. That was basically my conclusion. And paradoxically, and with that conclusion, had created a workout training program system, which was designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. And you can see hundreds of my workout video program. I gotta salute the train conductors a little bit. Train conductors, those who build the trains, and coast to coast, So much labor, so much steel, so much metal, Hopefully they got good hugging. And we need to rebuild. We need to rebuild a lot of infrastructure of North America. Lots. It's been neglected for more than 44 years. For lots of highways, bridges, and for more, close to 50 years now. We gotta do it in North America. So we gotta get the DRT, debt refusion tree. That's the solution. And my brothers and sisters, just like myself, will channel the aggression. I have aggression, but I channel it. I work out, I train, I exercise. I got lust, L-U-S-T. I play that rainbow. So, it's L-O-V, and I get that androgyny, So it's super important to sublimate. To sublimate. Sublimate and channel, Love me some Lila here. To sublimate and channel. The smell is so awesome. The smell is super awesome. So, just gonna take some pictures here of it. Sometimes you gotta smell the flowers, and rainbow dragon, I can spit a lot of fire, but you take some of that water, take some of that perfume, take some of that soap, take some of that LOV, man, Take some of that LOV. Love and understanding. I cannot base everything. We cannot base all our things on aggression and violence and force and strength and sports. Has to be some love, has to be some soft, some gardening, and whatever the case may be. Bonjour! Ça va bien? Ouais, quand je vous vois avec du rouge, ça me fait du bien parce que c'est ma couleur préférée. Ah oui? Je la porte moi-même. Je vois ça, là. Oui. Du rouge, c'est toujours vivant. C'est vif comme le coucher du soleil. J'ai pas compris. C'est vif comme quand le soleil se couche. Puis quand il se lève, c'est encore rouge. Ah, c'est ça. Rouge. Je vous en chante une chanson en marchant chez nous manger. OK. Ciao. Bye, vous aussi, ma chère. My tante, my auntie there, I said my auntie said a little bit of that French, and gotta sing a little bit of that French. I sing some French rock and roll, and we're gonna switch to that French, and I don't know what she said. She said, I mean, I know what she said because I'm Quebecer, you know, I'm a Quebecer, but she said some nice words, and she said hello. So I entered the conversation, and I said, I smiled because you're wearing my favorite color, red, which in French is rouge, and I sang her. I told her I'm gonna sing her a little rock and roll song for my auntie, and you know, Quebecers here, you're my family. Quebecers, Canadians, you're my family. Oh, who come live here with me? Us on the island of Montreal. Sometimes we're dysfunctional, and myself too, you know. I'm some things, I am so far from, I got clumsiness, I got Asperger's, but North Americans, now we're a family, you know. We got at the end of the day, we got each other here. My individual self with your individual self, and we got common interests to be more pragmatic, you know, and defense of North America, our children, our elders, our children, our elders. We got, you know, common interests here in North America, you know. It's a nice thing. You know, so we got common interests here. And I saw a nice lion and a snake on my brother there, cousin brothers. And lion, snake, I didn't want to disturb because it was typing and writing, so I didn't want to say nice stat, because I got a lion and a snake, and I got Canada on me, and I got tats, and don't ask me how, because I got retrograde amnesia, so I just remember moving and healing and working out, training and exercising, and that's about how far as I go, you know. So it's always, I live for today, carpe diem it every day with hope for tomorrow, and I'm gonna switch it to that French because we're in La Belle Province, and I'm heading home to have dinner movie with the greatest woman I know. If I make $1 million, I'm gonna give her half, 50%, 50, half. To my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know, I consider family, sister. Already asked marriage, give a power of attorney, and represent, and that's how it is, you know, and that's how we get the glory, man. Get that moon and that sun together, you know. So yeah, she deserves to be the number after 6, following 6, coming after 6 or 7, before 8. Love you, Swifty. I'm a Swifty. Taylor Swift, Oprah, Beyonce, love you. Give some charity, help build the Forgotten Goddess Temple, House of the Dragon, and Rainbow People's Palace, 3 buildings which I want to build, but I know somebody who deserves to be 7 times richer than Oprah, 7 times richer than Swift, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce, and all the Kardashians together. Help build the Forgotten Goddess Temple. En français maintenant. In French now, because we're in Québec, la belle province. Mais comme j'avais chanté à ma chanson, ma tante qui portait le rouge, puis aujourd'hui, bien sûr, je suis en marche pour les forces canadiennes, puis pour la sécurité de service de l'ordre, la sécurité publique, dans le fond de l'Amérique du Nord, du Québec, du Canada, puis nos forces armées, parce que bien sûr, aujourd'hui, il y a un événement majeur en géopolitique, et vous savez moi-même, tu sais, c'est la géopolitique 24/24. Je suis Asperger's, encore une fois, ma condition, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale, là, mes chers Québécois, Québécoises, mes cousines, mes cousins, la famille des fois dysfonctionnelle, mais c'est une condition neurodivergente, de neurodivergence. Donc l'Asperger's, ça fait bien sûr que j'ai des obsessions, des intérêts obsessifs, des choses qui m'intéressent comme à l'obsession, au point de vue d'obsessif, et bien sûr, j'ai des demandes, bien sûr, qui sont des gestes un peu bizarres, puis je suis quand même étrange avec le public, je suis étrange avec le public, mais bien sûr que j'ai des fautes, mais j'ai des forces aussi quand même, fait que j'ai des forces, bien sûr. Ben, j'ai des faiblesses aussi, mais j'ai des forces aussi. Mais j'aime les fleurs, et je me suis arrêté pour les fleurs, là, mais quand même, l'Asperger, c'est pas une condition, c'est pas une maladie mentale, encore une fois, c'est une condition neurodivergente, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, encore une fois. Ce n'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, c'est une condition de neurodivergence aussi. C'est une condition de neurodivergence, c'est une condition de... C'est une condition de neurodivergence, mais ça a des forces quand même, puis comme vous savez, d'après mes théories, bien sûr, et bien sûr mon rock&roll, je suis un grand artiste de rock&roll, mais je dois commencer à procéder par Premièrement, tout en commençant par la gratitude de 24 sur 24. On commence les mardis. Gratitude, mon loyer payé, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé. J'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois de mai, on est le 21 mai. J'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé, encore une fois, la gratitude. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé, puis des belles fleurs qui m'entourent. Je suis plus à Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, je suis à Montréal-Ouest, puis j'adore ces fleurs. Des belles fleurs que j'aime bien. Wow, puis je vais traverser l'autre bord de la rue parce que là, elles sont belles aussi. Mais, anyways, encore une fois, la gratitude et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. C'est tellement un bon investissement d'encore pour la santé mentale que je vous répète que juste prendre une marche d'une heure, 2 heures, faire des pompes, de l'entraînement physique. Puis je m'assure de traverser en sécurité parce que tu sais jamais, des fois, hein, les freins ne fonctionnent pas. Que si le citoyen, ben, il paye sur l'accélérateur à la place de peser sur le frein. Si les freins fonctionnent mal, fait qu'il faut toujours s'assurer en tant que citoyen, je suis sorti dehors, puis waouh, regardez ces belles fleurs, là. Ça sent bon, ça sent bon. Ah oui, ça sent bon, ça. Je ne vais pas trop rentrer dans le... parce que c'est public, mais ils sont un peu dans le public, là, les fleurs, là. Une partie des fleurs est sortie dans le public, mais il y en a qui sont dedans, là. Mais oh, les lilas blancs, regardez ça, là. Ça, c'est dans... Ça, c'est rentré dans le public ici, mais ça sent bon. Et c'est du lilas blanc, c'est plus rare le lilas blanc, mais c'est beau ça. Et je trouve ça beau. Ah, ça sent tellement bon. Ah oui, ça sent tellement bon ici. Oh, you're talking to me? I thought you're talking on the phone.
No, it's another one there, the other color.
Thank you so much. I was admiring the white lilac.
Yeah, but look at the red one over there.
Oh, red's my favorite color. Thank you so much. I was gonna go that way because I'm heading home, and I was taking some pictures, you know.
Everybody takes pictures.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's yours? It's yours?
No,
Oh.
so I live there, but
Okay.
everybody, you should see
I
everybody.
really love it.
It's beautiful.
I really love it.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me know. Bye bye.
Size of your head.
They're really gorgeous. Ils sont vraiment belles, je trouve, les fleurs, puis sont blanches, et puis sont blanches, et puis sont bien sûr d'une beauté exceptionnelle. Puis ma cousine, ma tante qui m'a dit regarde les rouges l'autre bord, et puis j'ai fait un... J'ai pas dit que j'avais l'Asperger, j'aurais dû avertir, là, mais des fois, après la discussion, je dis ben, je leur dis tu sais, que j'ai l'Asperger pour ne pas qu'il y ait, tu sais, je suis conscient que je suis intense, les aspis on est intense, là, mais... Beau, hey, wow, regardez ça. Wow, super. 10 sur 10, ben c'est ça l'Asperger's, ben c'est une condition de neurodivergence, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale. L'Asperger, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence. Donc, ce n'est pas l'Asperger, ma condition, ce n'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence. Et donc, dans la neurodivergence, ben, on a ces choses qu'on fait, qu'on répète des choses, 2-3 fois la même chose. Puis on a bien sûr des choses qu'on répète. Et bien sûr, des choses qu'on est obsédé par. Mais, vous voyez, pendant les dernières années, plus que 7 ans, ayant étudié obsessif, avec obsession, intensité, la géopolitique, je peux vous dire que j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant. En 2019, j'ai prévu la situation actuelle. Un conflit international, soit dans d'autres mots, une 3e guerre mondiale. J'ai la preuve du travail depuis 2019, là, tout l'entraînement physique et tout ça, là. J'ai la preuve, vous en voulez pas, mais Vous pouvez vous ostiner le plus que vous voulez, mais j'ai la preuve de mon travail, je l'ai prévu. Pas comme un prophète, là, mais en tant que l'Asperger, ça me fait bien sûr que j'ai ces obsessions, ces intérêts obsessifs. Puis quand vous rentrez dans la géopolitique, que vous rentrez dans mon domaine, il faut que vous soyez bien équipé et bien fait le devoir, parce qu'il y a tellement de choses que je ne sais pas. La géopolitique, mes chers, la géopolitique, ben, c'est mon domaine, c'est mon royaume, ça. Puis j'ai prévu, bien sûr, que la situation géopolitique actuelle, ben, en 2019, que ça va dérouler, dégrader dans qu'on s'en allait vers un conflit, une conflagration internationale, là, soit une troisième guerre mondiale. C'est ça que j'avais prévu. C'est ça que ma prédiction. Ben, basée sur des intérêts. Ben, des intérêts obsessifs. You know? Basé sur des intérêts obsessifs, comme la géopolitique. Puis le sport est mon sport préféré, bien sûr, que j'aime bien sûr faire du sport. Puis l'entraînement physique, la danse, c'est mon sport préféré. Une autre de mes obsessions avec la géopolitique, 24/24, l'entraînement physique, l'hygiène en public aussi. Et bien sûr, quand je vois du monde, je les encourage, puis je les félicite, puis je vous encourage toujours à faire l'entraînement physique. Mais mes chers, j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe, qu'est-ce qui allait se passer d'une manière générale, je parle. Pas en tant que chose des événements spécifiques, là. Mais d'une manière générale, j'avais pris le conflit en Europe, le conflit au Moyen-Orient, puis la possibilité du conflit, bien sûr, entre la Chine populaire de la République populaire de la Chine et la République démocratique de la Chine, c'est Taïwan puis la Chine, bien sûr, qui officiellement, le Taïwan s'appelle la République de la Chine, la République de la Chine, la République de la Chine, avec bien sûr la République. Yeah, c'est ça que j'aime. C'est ça que j'aime voir du monde qui s'aime, qui se tienne par... Vous me donnez espoir pour le monde libre, tu sais. Quand je vois vous tenir par la main, vous donner des bisous, des câlins, mais c'est ça que j'aime voir. Fait que c'est pour ça que la seule armée que je joindrai, genre, ça serait ici pour vous défendre ici, mais pas pour avoir l'intervention ailleurs. Hein. Ça, c'était clair et net pendant des années. Hein. Je fais pas d'intervention militaire nulle part que juste pour vous défendre, vous, ici. Le Québec, puis l'Amérique du Nord, puis that's it, that's all. Puis oui, en souhaitant la paix dans le monde, mais j'ai pas vraiment vécu. Je fais une analyse profonde, dure, nette, des situations géopolitiques, puis bien sûr, j'y crois à la réincarnation. J'étais né plusieurs fois sur l'île de Montréal en 1635, homme, femme, femme, homme. J'ai même rencontré Louis Seuil, mais fondamentalement, je connais l'île de Montréal dans cette vie, puis je ne connais pas ailleurs. C'est côte à côte, de science, toutes mes propos philosophiques, puis mes initiatives. Donc, il y en a plusieurs, puis bien sûr, dans mes démarches, puis mes écritures en tant que le docteur du peuple, bien sûr que je continue à faire, comme la thèse que je vous ai présentée d'une manière orale, soit bien sûr, ma thèse s'intitule « Le privilège de la civilisation ». Le privilège de la civilisation, le privilège de la civilisation, le privilège de la civilisation, le privilège de la civilisation. Ça, il faut que je remercie les fermiers, les bouchers, les infirmiers, les camionneurs, bien sûr, puis tous ceux qui sont avec nous ici en Amérique du Nord, qu'on fasse un effort parce que c'est bien sûr aujourd'hui l'événement majeur en géopolitique que je fais des méditations, mais c'est bien sûr l'entraînement pour lancer des missiles nucléaires qui a eu place et eu lieu en Russie. Aujourd'hui, si vous ne savez pas, il y a eu des événements, un événement géopolitique majeur, puis cet événement géopolitique majeur, mais c'était un entraînement militaire du déploiement des missiles nucléaires, les missiles intercontinentaux qu'on appelle les missiles intercontinentaux, bien sûr. Et ces missiles en Ukraine, puis ils peuvent se rendre jusqu'ici, certains, pas tous, mais il y en a 44, je pense qu'il y en a plus que 44 missiles. D'après ce qu'on sait, il peut y en avoir plus, mais d'après l'OTAN, les membres dont on fait partie, il peut y avoir bien sûr d'autres, mais c'est bien sûr plus que 44 missiles qui peuvent se rendre jusqu'ici, ils peuvent traverser 10 500 km. De Moscou jusqu'à Montréal, de Montréal jusqu'à Moscou, c'est 10 500 km. 10 500 km, fait que de Moscou jusqu'à Montréal, Montréal-Moscou, c'est 8 500. Imaginez-vous, il reste 2000 km parce que ils peuvent traverser l'océan, ils peuvent traverser une distance de 10 500 km. Ces missiles-là, en théorie. Fait que 10 500 km, ces fusées-là, ils peuvent traverser. Ils peuvent être armés nucléaires. C'est une possibilité, là. C'est sûr qu'on n'est pas en guerre avec la Russie, mais nos chefs, bon, je ne vais pas rentrer en discussion. Vous savez, moi, j'aurais fait un vote populaire pour l'implication de toute action militaire ou autre, un vote populaire, là, mais propos pour le partenariat public-privé, pour l'avenir du 21e siècle, mais j'aurais fait ces propos-là. Et bien sûr, de côte à côte, pour les missiles intercontinentaux, qu'on les construise. Pour la défense des satellites, on a besoin de plus de satellites pour pouvoir interpeller ces missiles. Pour ça, pour le NORAD, qu'on appelle en anglais l'Alliance militaire canado-états-unienne, qui est faite des années 50, de la guerre froide, il faut l'amener au 21e siècle, bâtir plus de satellites, puis de défense, des missiles de défense de côte à côte. Ça, c'est l'Est, ça, c'est l'Ouest. En arrière, là-bas, c'est l'Ouest canadien, Colombie-Britannique, le Pacifique. Là, je me dirige vers l'Atlantique. Pour faire de côte à côte avec nos voisins, nos chers des États-Unis, que j'avais proposé, bien sûr, avec la théorie de la refusion de la dette, pour qu'on puisse faire cette affaire, ce projet de défense de côte à côte. Mais en tout cas, aujourd'hui, il y a eu lieu cet événement géopolitique majeur, puis cet événement aujourd'hui, puis demain, puis cette semaine, comme la semaine passée, ben, c'était des marches pour les pompiers. Aujourd'hui, bien sûr, c'est pour ceux qui font l'interprétation, puis l'interpellation, puis les forces armées canadiennes, les forces de sécurité publique. Puis je fais appel pour l'intégration citoyenne de côte à côte, parce qu'on est en mode Troisième Guerre mondiale, veux pas, c'est possible. C'est possible que ce soir, à minuit, 3 heures du matin local, parce qu'il y a des zones de temps, c'est possible que le Taïwan soit envahi par la Chine. C'est possible que le Taïwan soit envahi par la Chine. C'est possible que le Taïwan soit envahi par la Chine. Le Taïwan, c'est bien sûr la République populaire de la Chine, c'est la Chine. Le Taïwan, l'île de Taïwan, officiellement, le nom, c'est la République de la Chine. Puis ça, c'est leur conflit qui n'a pas été résolu après la guerre civile. De leur guerre civile. Puis après ces décennies, puis ça date des années 40, avec l'établissement de la République populaire de Mao Tse-tung. Puis moi, je dis, nous autres, ici, on a fait le grand compromis linguistique pour avoir continuité de la paix en Amérique du Nord, au Québec, avec nos frères et cousines des Américains, des États-Unis. On les amène ici. On fait un partenariat, un grand mariage nord-américain, de partenariat public-privé. Veux pas, on est des Américains anyways, on est nord-américains. Moi, je suis nord-américain. Canadien, Québécois, pour la citoyenne du monde, de la paix mondiale, mais j'ai tellement de choses à visiter ici, puis moi, c'est ça qui m'a fait sortir de la dépression pesticidaire. Quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, j'ai dit, tellement de choses à voir, à faire. Écrire mes poèmes, mes chansons rock&roll, faire plus de la danse. Et en 2017, j'ai sorti de la dépression. Quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, j'ai dit, waouh, j'ai une grosse famille ici en Amérique du Nord quand même. Tellement de places que je dois visiter, tellement de choses que j'ai pas faites. Aller avec le train, avec l'avion, aller à l'ouest, aller au nord, aller au sud. Aller manger quelque chose de nouveau, aller chanter une nouvelle chanson à Saint-Adrien. Il y en a deux, Saint-Adrien. Il y en a deux, Saint-Adrien. Saint-Adrien, il y en a deux, par exemple. Je dois saluer ceux qui ont bâti, construit en dessous les aqueducs, les égouts pour en pouvoir avoir de l'eau potable avec le système de filtration. C'est un privilège de la civilisation. Hein? Et en tout cas, je l'avais prévu, la situation actuelle en géopolitique en 2019, puis c'est ça qui est ça, veux pas, avec toutes les imperfections que j'ai moi-même, tu sais. Dans certaines choses, je suis médiocre, dans certaines choses, je suis comme ci, comme ça, dans certaines choses, je suis pas bon. J'aimerais mettre un peu de peinture, quelque chose de bleu, blanc, vert ici. Bleu, blanc, ou vert, ou arc-en-ciel, c'est votre dragon arc-en-ciel, mais c'est trop gris. Il faudrait mettre à mon goût. On pourrait financer peut-être des jeunes artistes pour faire quelque chose de beau, tu sais, avec ces affaires-là, puis mettre de la peinture, puis peinturer les murs. Qu'est-ce que vous en dites? Ah ouais, Céline, on finance. Parce que l'argent, c'est ça. Pour acheter puis vendre, c'est ça l'argent, ça a un but. Moi, j'ai pas d'argent, je suis en stress. Mon seul stress en ce moment, c'est financier. Mais j'ai de la gratitude. Avec la gratitude, ben, ça vient de la santé mentale, avec une marche, avec l'entraînement physique, des pompes, de la danse. Je me sens toujours mieux, je me sens toujours bien. Des fois, ça prend un peu de ça, médias sociaux, un peu d'entraînement physique. Comme ma cousine qui est partie à la course, ben, elle fait un beau sourire. Il faut un beau sourire, puis ah ouais, quelques kilomètres, un beau jogging, tu sais. Sa sécurité, ma sécurité, sa liberté, ma liberté, ou leur liberté, la liberté, il faut que ça soit sécurisé. Puis ça, c'est nouveau, il faut faire de l'assurance de la liberté, puis la défense, puis après ça, le service. Tu sais, il faut qu'on y ait des services, puis bien des services qu'on peut rendre des services aux gens, tu sais. Moi, juste me le demander, j'ai une politique simple. Juste me le demander, j'ai une politique simple. Juste me le demander, j'ai une politique simple. Juste me le demander. Hein. C'est oui, non, peut-être. Hygiène et consentement, c'est le plus important pour moi-même. C'est l'hygiène et puis le consentement. C'est l'hygiène puis le consentement. L'hygiène puis le consentement. L'hygiène puis le consentement, puis c'est ça qui est important, puis la santé des jeunes, puis les jeunes ils sourient, puis ils sont en train d'avoir du fun, mais c'est important, la jeunesse, c'est pour eux autres qu'on va mettre un uniforme. S'il y a quelqu'un que je veux mettre dans un cas de crise, c'est juste pour la défense. Ici en Amérique du Nord, de côte à côte, c'est tout, c'est rock&roll, puis parce que c'est fondamentalement, je connais pas ailleurs, puis bien sûr mes protocoles, ben c'est pour ici. Mes initiatives, ben c'est pour l'Amérique du Nord. Le racisme, si j'ai pu y travailler, mais à offrir qu'est-ce que j'offre à tout le monde, en premier, des bisous, des chatouilles puis des câlins, des bisous, des chatouilles puis des câlins, des bisous, des chatouilles puis des câlins, puis avec ça, du rock'n'roll, tu sais. Parce que c'est ça que j'en ai encore, premièrement, en tant qu'artiste, artiste rock'n'roll, bien sûr. C'est des choses comme ça que j'ai moi-même, puis... Mais ma famille ici, il faut que je fasse attention, puis il faut que je retourne. Je tourne ma tête quand je traverse ici, parce que c'est quand même important de le faire, tu sais. Il faut que... Je dis ma gratitude, mais il faut que... Tellement de choses que je sais pas, tu sais. Tellement de choses que je sais pas moi-même, tellement de questions que j'ai moi-même, puis des choses que je dois regarder, bien sûr, puis faut que je fasse attention moi-même, ça. Gotta get it for those saints, man. Who'd you guys drafted? Who'd you guys drafted in the Saints?
Forgot who they drafted the first round, but I know they got
Yeah?
quarterback.
Oh yeah?
But I don't really pay much attention to the draft. I just wait till.
Breeze is gone?
Yeah.
Drew Brees was pretty good, man.
He had
Yeah.
a good arm, but
Yeah.
settled down towards the end.
I can't believe mine lost, man.
I mean, when any team that plays wins.
Fucking Purdy, man. I love the Purdy, you know the story, like he got drafted last. He was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
262nd.
Hey, I mean, against Mahomes. Mahomes is a good quarterback.
Mahomes is good. But we lost in the overtime by 3 points, though.
Yeah.
We lost in OT by 3 points.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Anyways, didn't want to disturb you just because I love football. And I saw your Saints.
I
And
see San Francisco behind you. That's all good to have.
yeah. Got that San Francisco 49ers for life, man. Anyways, that's all, man. I just wanted to see if you're a fan, see what you got, something going on for you, and
I'm casual now. I don't.
the drafts.
Before it used to take up a lot of time watching football, but now after a couple of years now, too much stress, so I just tone it down. I pay attention. If they win, yeah. If they lose, so I'm. I won't say I'm not as hardcore as I used to be back in the day.
I wish they give some more charity, man. More charity, reduce the tickets.
Yeah, but hey, it's a business. We have to.
I live down there. Are you interested this summer to hitting some, throwing some footballs with me?
Oh, I coach that.
Oh, you coach? Okay.
That's what I do most of my time.
Okay, no problem. If you're ever in Trenholm Park, sometimes I do drills there, or I go do some football drills, defense drills in Concordia. I like to play defense and stuff like that. Anyways,
All right.
take care.
Yeah, you too. Hold it down.
Yeah, I'll try. Don't fumble. Love you, man. Une belle machine pour le nettoyage. Merci. That was funny. I wanted to speak some football. I want to speak some football, but I don't want to be late, 'cause I'll be late. I saw the Saints, so j'ai vu les Saints, puis il m'a fait un sourire comme salut, fait que je suis rentré en petite conversation parce que j'aime ça le football américain, puis je voulais savoir c'est qui ont fait le repêchage, puis c'est le repêchage, mais pas déranger mon citoyen, mais on avait une bonne conversation parce que je porte la casquette de la Ligue de football nationale, puis j'adore le sport, vous savez, j'adore le sport, je suis un petit peu obsédé, fait que il faut que je regarde qui ont fait le repêchage, qui ont fait le repêchage, puis les forces armées canadiennes sont dans l'uniforme, il faut qu'on salue, c'est pour les autres aujourd'hui en marche, le général Integree, blablabla, mais avant que vous mettez un uniforme méchant, il faut changer un peu de couche. Ça, c'est un nouveau protocole, changer des couches aux enfants, c'est pour ça qu'on fait la défense nationale. Pour les enfants, mais les aînés, pour tout le monde, mais en premièrement pour les autres. Ça s'en vient bien ici. Wow! Ça, c'est un beau projet. J'ai hâte de voir ce qui s'en vient. On a bâti de basketball ici, puis bien sûr le basket, puis ça a fait un bon entraînement ici, puis un bon investissement. Puis, ouais, ils ont bâti durant la COVID le basketball, fait qu'ils en prennent. Vous savez, j'aime ça le basketball, le sport masculin et féminin, j'adore, mais même si la danse est mon sport préféré, mais je salue cet investissement ici dans mon quartier, puis tous ceux qui l'ont bâti, bien sûr, puis le bâtir, mais ça prend des muscles de cerveau, puis bien sûr, c'est des muscles de cerveau, puis c'est ça l'important, bien sûr, de le faire, puis le consentement, l'hygiène, c'est important, puis sublimer l'agression, tu sais, faire de la sublimation de l'agression. Sublimer l'agression, c'est important, la sublimation de l'agression, tu sais. Sublimation de l'agression. C'est important de faire la sublimation de l'agression. Tu sais, moi, des fois, c'est plus facile juste de dire demandez-moi aller, tu sais. Je fais l'effort, donc j'ai fait l'effort, j'ai eu bien du travail, tu sais, j'ai eu bien du travail durant la COVID, mais avec l'Asperger's, ben, c'est des choses quand même dures, tu sais, c'est des choses quand même dures avec l'Asperger's, tu sais, c'est quand même des choses qui sont dures, hein, puis l'Asperger's, ben, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, puis j'en ai l'agressivité, mais je m'entraîne. Je m'entraîne, je fais l'entraînement physique, bien sûr, puis le sport, c'est important pour moi-même, puis c'est le sport 24/24, bien sûr, dans ma grotte, puis je continue à faire du sport, puis on continue à s'entraîner, puis bien sûr, super important à faire du sport. Et j'en fais toujours, souvent, puis j'en fais au quotidien quand même. Quotidien, c'est quand même le quotidien, bien sûr, puis je suis capable d'en faire plus. Je suis capable, bien sûr, de maîtriser un peu, de faire la sublimation, bien sûr, de mon agressivité, en tant qu'agressivité, bien sûr. Faire la sublimation, faire l'entraînement physique, faire la sublimation. C'est bien important, c'est bien important. Anyways, il va falloir que je regarde qui a fait, qui ont repêché eux autres. Si on repêché quelqu'un en quarterback, je pense, en défense ou en offensif. Je pense qu'ils ont repêché un quart arrière. Parce que comme j'ai parlé à lui, en tout cas, il ne faut pas que je commence là-dessus parce que je ne vais pas arrêter parce que ça, c'est une autre de mes obsessions, bien sûr. Le sport, mais l'entraînement physique, puis la danse, c'est mon sport préféré, bien sûr. C'est toujours ça que je fais 24/24, puis surtout dans la géopolitique. Aujourd'hui, ben, c'est l'événement de la géopolitique. Aujourd'hui, le pire, le mouvement de l'entraînement pour la possibilité de lancer d'une fusée nucléaire. C'est ça qu'ils ont fait de l'entraînement en Russie ce matin. Fait que ça va être toute cette semaine, ça va être situation d'urgence parce que j'avais prévu une possibilité de lancement d'une guerre nucléaire. J'ai été prévu dans mon analyse en géopolitique que j'avais faite en 2019, que j'arrête pas de faire référence. Parce que c'est important parce que ma vie, comme elle recommence quand j'ai eu comme la COVID, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie. C'était comme la mort, la pestilence, puis la maladie, la COVID. Puis bien sûr, la COVID, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence pour moi. Puis je l'ai eu en février 2020, février-mars 2020, puis en février-mars 2020, bien sûr, que je l'ai eu, bien sûr, puis en février-mars 2020, ben, c'est là que je l'ai eu moi-même, fait que c'est toujours une chose que je fais, puis je fais d'entraînement physique, mais je veux pas, tu sais, offenser les gens, mais des fois je suis direct, des fois direct. Le monde pense que nous, les aspis, l'autisme va faire fonctionner. On y pense aussi, des fois, les gens qu'on n'a pas d'incompassion, d'empathie, c'est pas ça, c'est parce que on le montre d'une autre manière, d'une manière plus pratique. On va offrir des choses, si on peut offrir des choses, on va offrir, on va dire, si t'as mal au cou, on va dire, tu veux un petit massage, puis tu veux un lavage de pied, tu veux ta faim, on va t'offrir de la nourriture, sinon de l'argent, j'en ai pas, mais j'en offrirai, parce que c'est des amis avec bénéfice seulement maintenant. Fait que je vais discuter la théorie de la refusion de la dette, mais Charles, maintenant, il faut faire l'implémentation parce qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution en ce moment à qu'est-ce qui arrive, à qu'est-ce qui se passe dans le monde, que la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Fait que je vais vous la discuter un petit peu bien vite, là. Et je retourne chez nous. Fait que je regardais comment on paye de dette, juste d'intérêt sur la dette. Ça, c'est juste qu'on paye l'intérêt sur la dette publique fédérale du Canada. On payait en 2020-2021, on payait 20,3 milliards. 20,3 milliards, 109 zéros. 109 zéros, c'est 1000 millions. Maintenant, en 2023-2024, on paye 46,5 milliards. 46,5 milliards. On paye 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards, 46,5 milliards. On paye 46,5 milliards. 1 milliard, c'est 1000 millions. Regardez ça, c'est la dette fédérale. La dette fédérale, ça, c'est la dette fédérale. C'est ça qu'on paye. Juste d'intérêt. Fait que maintenant, c'est juste payer d'intérêt. C'est ça qu'on paye sur la dette. Sur la dette. On paye sur la dette fédérale. Méchant, il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Puis ça vient, j'ai été maudit par l'Asperger's. Mais il y a une bénédiction dans ça. La bénédiction, c'est que, mes obsessions, c'est aussi une de mes obsessions, parallèle avec la géopolitique, l'entraînement physique, c'est aussi les études de civilisation. Puis quand on étudie les civilisations, puis moi, bien sûr, c'est l'ancienne civilisation romaine, pas roumaine, mais romaine. puis bien sûr l'ancienne Égypte et la Sumérie. Ça, c'est des civilisations pour la Nord-Amérique aussi, là, parce qu'on constitue un complexe, une communauté civilisationnelle, de civilisation, une communauté de civilisation émergente en Amérique du Nord. Fait qu'on émerge depuis la Deuxième Guerre mondiale. Mais bien sûr aussi, c'est malédiction, ça a des bénédictions pour moi-même, pour moi, pour vous, pour nous. Puis une de ces théories que j'ai écrites pendant plusieurs, bien sûr, documents que j'ai composés pendant les 7 dernières années, c'est pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette, pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette, pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette, pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette, et non, pour la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, c'est quoi la TRD? La TRD, ça inclut bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire qu'ils ont faite en Europe. Bien sûr, en Europe, ils ont fait une théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ça veut dire qu'ils ont formé une unité d'échange commune. Une unité d'échange commune en Europe. Dans la communauté européenne, ils ont fait une unité d'échange commune. Fait qu'on va faire la même chose, mais du point de vue original, ça va être un peu différent. Fait qu'on va prendre toute la dette. Ça, c'est la TRD, ma théorie du dragon arc-en-ciel. Puis ça s'appelle la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette. TRD, théorie R, refusion de la dette. Théorie de la refusion de la dette. Théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr. Et ça inclut, bien sûr, la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. Donc, ma TRD, théorie de la théorie R, refusion de la dette. TRD, théorie R, refusion de la dette. Ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Ça, c'est qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. Plusieurs pays ont créé une banque centrale commune dans les années 80, ça fait beaucoup d'années. Là. Puis plusieurs pays ont adopté une unité d'échange commune. On va faire pareil, semblable. C'est le temps, je pense que ça aurait dû être fait dans longtemps, mais avec un peu de différence. On va prendre toute la dette, ma dette de 10 500 $ en tant que citoyen dragon, philosophe, artiste, athlète avec amnésie rétrograde, puis l'Asperger's. On va mettre tout ensemble la dette publique-privée de côte à côte avec les États-Unis et le Mexique. Je parle du point de vue nord-américain en tant que Nord-Amérique. On va ramasser toute la dette publique-privée. Vu que le dollar des États-Unis, c'est encore la monnaie de change pour le commerce mondial, le commerce du monde, les finances internationales, puis l'import, puis l'export. On va tout mettre ça ensemble. On va faire la conversion, toute la dette publique-privée de dollar canadien en dollars des États-Unis, toute la dette publique-privée du peso mexicain en dollars des États-Unis. On va tout mettre ça ensemble. Ça fait des milliards. Avec cet argent-là, on va fonder une nouvelle banque centrale d'Amérique du Nord. Ça peut être avec des transatlantiques, avec les Européens, mais je parle pour l'Amérique du Nord. On va créer une nouvelle monnaie basée sur la valeur du dollar des États-Unis qu'on va appeler l'unité d'échange universelle. U point, unité, E point, échange universel, U point. Unité d'échange universel, UI, comme en anglais, UI, ça va être parfait. U point, unité, E point, échange universel. UI égale au dollar américain, on va faire un gel des prix, le prix du beurre, le prix du fromage, le prix du miel, tous les prix. Avec cet argent-là, on va fonder les 2 institutions de partenariat public-privé complémentaires, soit l'armée du dragon et l'armée de la déesse qui danse, pour la défense, côte à côte, service et sécurité basée sur mes philosophies, puis intégrée avec toutes les qui existent en ce moment, basée sur mes théories puis mes principes, puis basée bien sûr sur mes théories puis mes principes, et ceux qui existent en ce moment, bien sûr, mes théories, ma thèse, qui inclut en ce moment, bien sûr, mes philosophies, avec un peu de comédie puis d'amour, parce qu'on peut pas se baser tout sur la violence puis la force. Il faut avoir la compréhension, la douceur, puis la 2 chances, 3 chances à tout le monde. Tu sais, faire référence à mes frères et sœurs qui sont incarcérés, puis ont perdu leur liberté, peut-être de les intégrer dans l'armée de la déesse qui danse, l'armée du dragon, de côte à côte. Fait que c'est ça. Et bien sûr, pour en faire cette théorie de... Hey.
You're working as you walk along.
Yeah, I do a little bit of rock and roll philosophy. I march and I record and I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
What are you guys up to?
Oh, we're just planting some.
Nice. I like these ones here.
Yeah, they're pretty, yeah.
Very.
Yes, thank you.
I like yellow flowers. Can I show you something? I just took it like 44 minutes ago. You're gonna be jealous of
Are
it.
you the fellow that my neighbor tells me that you take really nice pictures of her flowers?
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I'm your neighbor from Park Row.
Okay. You
I have Asperger's, so if I say things twice, it's not a mental illness, it's a neurological condition.
Okay.
So I repeat things and I have gestures like that, so
Okay.
don't worry.
Okay.
That's just a thing I live with, you know?
Yeah.
Asperger's. Look at this.
Asperger's.
Yeah. Look at this. So this was a garden.
Oh.
Wait, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, it's just white, eh?
White with the
Lilac.
lilac.
Yeah, and check this out. Look at those. Look at those.
Oh, lovely. That's
Yours is lovely too. You have a lovely garden. Yeah.
Peony.
You have a very nice garden.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
this one also, hey, look at that beauty.
Mm.
Look at that white lilac.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Nice, eh? And this one?
Yeah, just beautiful.
I'm
You
a
love
fan.
flowers,
I just
huh?
love them.
Yeah.
I just love I do.
Okay.
Anyways, I gotta go to dinner. I can't be late.
Okay.
So I love those
Enjoy.
white ones too. Thanks for saying hello. If you see me,
I'll wait.
just be aware I have Asperger's and
Okay.
I'm a bit strange. It's due to my neurological condition. I repeat things or I might do gestures with the hand, stuff like that.
That's okay.
Just
That's
so
okay.
you
I'm glad to talk to
so you be aware.
Okay.
Bye, be well. C'était un bon citoyen qui demandait que j'ai montré des paquets de fleurs parce que tu sais, je viens d'en prendre bien des fleurs. Là, puis je l'ai montré parce qu'on discutait un peu de la forêt, le jardin qu'eux autres y ont, bien sûr. Puis ils m'ont dit salut. Puis ils m'ont demandé qu'est-ce que je faisais. Fait que je leur ai dit la vérité. Ben, je suis en train de faire un vlog parce que c'est ça. Je fais des vlogs philosophiques de marche puis de rock-and-roll. J'ai pas dit bien sûr, j'ai pas fait de vis-à-vis parce que c'est mes citoyens. Je veux pas les alarmer là aussi, mais même on devrait quand même faire leur parler aux citoyens ouvertement avec le premier ministre puis la poste, puis envoyer des courriels bien sûr, puis envoyer des courriels bien sûr pour leur dire de la possibilité qu'il y a une guerre nucléaire aussi, puis pour qu'on se protège, il faut faire l'armée du dragon parce que c'est possible que Poutine lance les bombes nucléaires. Je ne vais pas parler de ça, que c'est ça la marche d'aujourd'hui qui est dédiée à cette affaire-là. On va prendre toute la dette publique-privée, ma dette publique, votre dette publique, on va la ramasser ensemble. On va mettre tout cet argent-là ensemble. Ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cette nouvelle banque, on va fonder l'Amérique du Nord, puis on va fonder, bien sûr, une nouvelle monnaie, bien sûr, qui ça s'appelait l'unité d'échange universelle. Unité d'échange universelle basée sur le dollar américain, basée sur le dollar américain. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%, ça peut être moins que 10, mais pas plus. On va faire un standard. Des prix des gels du pain, du coût du miel, ben c'est des fruits, puis du pain, puis du miel. On va faire un standard, bien sûr. Si on va standardiser les prix, on va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Ça peut être 9, ça peut être 8. Je me tourne la tête parce que ça peut être, bien sûr, qui passe, bien sûr. Fait que, anyways. Ça peut être, bien sûr, 10, ça peut être 9. Mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que 10. Mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que... Mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que 10, mais pas plus que 10, tu sais, pas plus que 10%. Ça peut être 9%, ça peut être 8%, ça peut être 7%, et bien sûr, ça peut être 6%, 9%, que ça soit des taux d'intérêt, bien sûr. Ça peut être 7, 6, 9, 8, et bien sûr, ça peut être 11, ça peut être tout ces... Ça ne peut pas être 11, ça peut être en bas de 10, 3.33, 1.56, 7.18, regardez le bleu ciel. Fait qu'on va créer avec tout ça, c'est toute la dette publique privée de l'Amérique du Nord, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque. Cette nouvelle banque, ça va donner une nouvelle monnaie qu'on va appeler l'unité d'échange universelle. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt, avec cet argent-là, on va pouvoir rebâtir l'infrastructure, fonder les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, l'armée du dragon et la déesse qui danse, et bien sûr, faire de l'engagement, financer les gens, faire l'entraînement physique, et bien sûr, rebâtir l'infrastructure, le train, puis plus d'écologie, ramasser bien des poubelles, puis bien sûr, on va pouvoir faire bien du travail pour l'environnement, puis la civilisation, puis pour financer les gens, faire l'entraînement physique. On va aussi pouvoir rebâtir bien des ponts, de l'infrastructure. Donc, ça va avoir un but. On va faire deux institutions de partenariat public-privé. On va pouvoir financer les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique. On va pouvoir financer les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique. On va pouvoir financer les gens à faire de l'entraînement physique, partenariat, l'implémentation va créer les deux institutions de partenariat public-privé, l'armée du dragon, Citoyen, Integree, Nord Americaine, l'armée de la défense, défense, sécurité, service, défense, sécurité puis service, défense, sécurité, service, puis pour l'environnement, on va financer les gens, faire l'entraînement physique, blablabla, il faut mettre implémenter, il n'y a pas d'autre solution qu'on est rendu aujourd'hui. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution, mes chers, vous pouvez discuter le plus que vous pouvez, mais c'est la seule et unique solution. Dans les situations qu'on est rendu maintenant, il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la théorie de la réfusion de la dette, puis baser qu'est-ce qui existe, parce que ça prend un peu de la vieille école, il faut avoir la gratitude, plus des centrales d'Hydro-Québec, puis on remercie les fermiers, les pompiers, les boulangers, les infirmiers, les pompiers, les boulangers, les infirmiers, c'est ceux qui font l'alimentation, bien sûr.